It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
And welcome back. It is Car Con Carne. I'm James Van Alstyne. And as a quick programming note, I'm about to do the second interview of tonight, and we're doing two more interviews tomorrow, starting at 6 p.m. tomorrow. If you are a fan of music, a fan of Chicago music, you're going to want to be there for the live video recording as we preview the JBTV Revolution Television Virtual Festival that's happening. It's a 3-day event helping to benefit Civil and NEVA. And as part of this preview, I'll have some pretty familiar names from the Chicago music scene. That is tomorrow at 6. Then later tomorrow night, T. Murph, comedian T. Murph. You've seen him on the TV series Woke on Hulu. He'll be joining me. And separately tomorrow, completely different from Car Con Carne, I'm doing another podcast tomorrow with John Manley at 101 WKQX. The two of us for the History of Alternative podcast on 101 WKQX will be talking about this year's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees. New York Dolls nominated again. That all aside, I'm joined tonight by two restaurateurs. They are the force behind Sfera, Sicilian street food. I'm joined today by Steven and Daniela. Good evening, both of you.
Hello. Thank you so much for having us.
Let's start right with what you do. What is Sicilian street food?
Well, I guess the idea came from my roots. Grew up in a very Sicilian household. Both my parents, born and raised in Sicily, first generation here. Have a love of cooking, and I always just thought about wanting to do something in the restaurant world. And so I met Steven a couple of years ago, and I'll have him talk a little bit about himself and his history in the kitchen. Tossed around some ideas, and Sfera Sicilian Street Food was born. But essentially, Sicilian street food. Have you ever had an arancina?
That's the risotto balls, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love that stuff.
So good. You haven't had ours, though. We're going to have to change that.
Absolutely.
So it started with the arancina. We wanted to bring our stuffed, delicious risotto balls to Chicago.
Well, you have one. And just looking at your menu, the porcini one, vegetarian risotto filled with imported porcini and local mushroom ragu and fontina cheese, served with truffle aioli. Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yes, indeed.
So when you say street food, I mean, this is stuff you'd get from like a street vendor in Sicily, for real?
Yeah, 100%. Arancini's like specifically like quintessential street food, sort of kind of that thing that you grab from a night out, or like if you just want a quick snack. They're everywhere. Each town has its little difference in an arancina. The shape might be a little bit different, or the filling might be a little more easier to find in one town than the other, but basically they're across the island, and they're kind of, I guess, quintessential to the history of the island as well, and why they are the street food. So
as you're building out the menu, did it give you the excuse to go back to Sicily to do more research? Was it?
Oh, 100%. I've been saying that since day one. One of the beautiful things about my parents being from Sicily is I had an opportunity from the age of 16, I think was the first time my parents had took me there. And 17, I got my own little gig at Walgreens, and I worked really hard to buy my little ticket every summer. So from
That's
16 to 25, just a few years ago, totally lying. I went consecutively every summer, and it was beautiful. And I haven't been back since, but we're going to make a trip out for research.
So I'm not imagining this. I mean, types of food like what you do exist, but this really feels like you're filling a niche in Chicago, an underserved category.
For sure. I think that they're like to specialize in something that sort of specific. You see that obviously, I mean, arancini are, in a way, I don't know if this is just because we've been researching and reading about them nonstop. They seem to be having a moment. They're certainly all over. Once you Google them, they're all over your feeds. But you find them as appetizers a lot, but rarely do you find sort of the the larger, or like where that's actually the focus of the menu. And we do have a larger menu. We try to explore different Sicilian culinary delights, as we call them. But we really love, we were really born on that arancina. And it was really because as Daniela and I were talking and going through concepts and what we really wanted to do, Daniela's a bit of a health food nut, and she was sort of thinking about the juicing or the salads and that kind of thing. And at the end of the day, when you're out and about and you're, nothing beats the smell of food being fried, cooking, and nothing beats something that's crunchy and warm and melty inside. And we're like, man, people just love delicious food, and this is the perfect vessel for it.
And nothing beats the smell of just the most elemental concept of garlic sizzling in olive oil.
100%. 100%. There's nothing quite like, an onion cooking in butter, like the best cologne.
That really is. So let's talk about your location. This is a ghost kitchen restaurant. I think a lot of people have heard that term, but I don't think a lot of people know what that means. Yeah.
I should say before, I guess it's connected to what Steven just mentioned. If you're, I loved farmers markets. And so we started this endeavor in our local farmers markets, Jefferson Park, Portage Park, Andersonville, South Loop, Logan Square, Wicker Park, just to name a few. And it was so awesome to just see people, walking around with a big, delightful stuffed risotto ball. So we did that for a few years, and in deciding to expand, we decided to move into what's now considered to be where we're at, a ghost kitchen. I like to explain it as, because oftentimes people rock up and they're like, they're expecting to walk into Sfera. I should mention that we are looking for a new home in a neighborhood possibly near you. But a ghost kitchen is like a hotel of kitchens. You walk in and 25 different restaurants have a kitchen in this one centralized place. And so we have a kitchen in this central location at 3517 North Spalding.
It's a great business model, especially for the current circumstances we're in right now. Let's talk a little bit about launching in this climate. I mean, this is truly an against all odds type of venture, launching in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was kind of a bit of a move for survival, because we were so, we were just connected with the community. I mean, literally face to face. That's the only way you could get us. And when that was all just taken away like that for everyone, the whole industry, we had to pivot, we had to move, and this seemed the most sort of logical short-term thing. I mean, that's the other great thing about a ghost kitchen, is that you could really operate it in a short-term sort of plan as we look, to wait out the pandemic. But everything changed with COVID. I mean, the whole system, we couldn't cook in front of people. We were literally, from 1 minute planning a big summer to nothing. And it was also, we were getting to the point in the business where this is what we wanted to do full time. So obviously selling at farmers markets on the weekend was not our full-time gig. And so we wanted to move more into that position and be able to position ourselves better, which is why we wanted to put ourselves into here in order to move up to that level where we could be doing this as a full-time restaurant. And obviously the cloud kitchen, or the ghost kitchen was the best, I guess, way to do that.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk a little bit more about your menu. We covered the arancini. Explain what scotcha is.
I'll take this one.
Yes.
So scotcha is this really interesting dish we found in Sicily, where you take, so semolina flour is kind of the main flour of Sicily. So you make a yeasted dough out of semolina flour, and you basically, you make almost like a pizza on it, but it really behaves like a pasta dough. So imagine making a pizza on a piece of pasta dough, folding it in half, making that pizza one more time, folding it in half, making that pizza again, folding it in half, and then throwing that whole thing into a hot oven. So you have all these layers of dough in between all of these fillings, and you end up with this crust on the outside that's almost like a pizza crust, and then like a lasagna in the middle.
That sounds glorious.
I mean, I'm salivating. And
I mean, at the beginning of this interview, Daniela talked about how you both like to be healthy. My perception of Italian food is it'll knock you out for 12 hours and you need to start a fitness regimen the following morning. You're not doing anything to convince me otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we met at the gym.
haven't been back since.
I mean, we're not going to lie. It's definitely not your, it's comfort food. It's delicious food.
That's it.
And it's the food you always want to eat, whether or not you should always eat it,
Oh my God.
But everyone can fit it in their diet. Everyone
Absolutely.
should give it a try.
It's winter in Chicago. We are all about that stuff right now. It's cold. We're all sheltering in place. We can't do any of the things we want to do. Just make us happy with food.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Well,
Oh my
like
gosh.
with anything else, James, right? Like it's a balance, right? So like one day you have a salad and then one day or Sfera.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. One day I'm not having a salad. I'm eating stuff like this. But just looking at some of the offerings along those lines, it is the ragusana with the marinara, the mozzarella parmesan with wild garlic ricotta, fresh basil leaf served with the side of house. This is glorious. I mean, glorious. This sounds so incredible. This is like a stop the presses kind of dish.
It's a special dish, and honestly, it's not really. It's not something that's easy, like that you find at restaurants at all. So
completely new to me.
Yeah.
I should also mention, so we're recording this live on Facebook as we do every night. John just said their cocktail bases are amazing too, and I wanted to talk about that because they sound fantastic. First of all, the pomegranate mint refresher. I'm just going to read what your menu says. Mix equal parts base with your favorite spirit, especially delicious with vodka, bourbon, and rum. Oh wait. Oh, it's just explain what this is. I'm reading how to use it. Explain what the pomegranate.
Yeah. So this is like something that we developed for COVID when we started doing at-home deliveries. Our customers wanted our stuff. We weren't in farmers markets. We tested different ways of reheating the arancini. How could we get it to people? And everyone's sitting around at home and having a cocktail. You can't, we're having a drink, but if you don't know how to mix a cocktail, let's make it nice and easy. And we just took some Sicilian flavors and made cocktail bases. And they're brilliant with a spirit. They're also great as a non-alcoholic drink, just mixed with a little bit of San Pellegrino or something. But yeah, we have a saffron sour, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's a sour with infused with the world's most expensive spice. Tastes brilliant with bourbon or really anything. That's our signature because it works with the whole bar.
Yeah.
And then we have rotating ones. So now that it's winter, the pomegranates are more in season. We do that with fresh mint.
And you brought up such an important point. This works as a non-alcoholic thing.
Oh, yeah.
Add seltzer to it or whatever, or like you said, bottled water. This is a great, refreshing beverage. You don't have to live off canned soda. You can make something that feels really special.
Totally.
Using a mix like that. All right. So looking ahead, Valentine's Day is coming up. It's going to be a weird Valentine's Day, just like every other day over the past 11 months has been weird in its own special way. But you're doing something cool. You're offering dinner for two. You can pre-order. We're recording this on a Wednesday night. You can pre-order through 9 p.m. on Friday. Explain what you're up to for Valentine's Day.
So you can actually pre-order. We're doing it on Saturday and Sunday. So you can pre-order up to 9 p.m. the night before. So if there is any availability or cancellations, we're getting booked up. But definitely check the site to get in for Sunday. Saturday, we still have some available, or plenty of availability. Okay, what it is. It's dinner for two. You get a scotcha. You pick which scotcha you want. You get one of our fantastic salads. You get arancini. You get a special citrus, fennel, and pistachio salad that we're only doing for that night. You get our polpetti, our meatballs. You get one of those cocktail bases, and then you get cannoli. We do brilliant cannoli. So you get all of it, 2 people, under $60, and you sit down with someone you love and enjoy
have a Sicilian night.
Yeah,
I love it. Tell me what that salad was again.
So there's 2 salads actually that come with it. One is our menu salad. You pick between either our alla norma, which has grill roasted vegetables, or you can get a it's not rocket in America. What is it?
Arugula.
An arugula and Parmesan salad. And then we have a special salad that we made specifically for Valentine's Day. And that is fresh citrus, blood oranges, caracara oranges, fennel, fresh herbs, pistachios. It's just all the flavors.
That's it. As you were describing it, it's a really nice, bright bit of flavor to kind of balance everything out. I love the way this is all put together. It sounds fantastic.
Yeah. And we'll even brand your scotcha with a heart for Valentine's Day.
Stop it.
What's going to get better than that?
Truly nothing. That's it. Full stop. So in launching during this time and, with your farmers market history, what have you learned this year that surprised you over the past 12 months?
Oh my gosh. Well, we've learned a lot. But personally, like the most prominent thing for us is, being in a ghost kitchen. One of the things that has been taken away in addition to COVID is that we are lacking the face-to-face with people. And I find a lot of joy in being in the kitchen, but I also find a lot of joy in talking to my customers and sometimes even watching them eat one of my arancini. So it's that face-to-face that, just kind of
we're all ready for Zoom meetings to be over with.
Totally. I mean, this is a delight, James, but
of course,
I'd rather be in your car.
Yeah.
Well, you'd rather be in my car. I'd rather be eating your food in front of you, sitting down.
Yeah.
I mean,
out in the sunshine.
Sure. Yeah. I'd like to see you in 3D as opposed to 2D on my computer screen. Yeah, no, we're all in the same boat, but you've made the best of this situation. I love what you're up to, and I'm a fan of entrepreneurship in general. Your menu sounds absolutely stunning, and I wish you good luck. So for people who want to dig in, whether it's for Valentine's Day weekend or moving forward, where can they place orders? Where can they get your food?
I would just direct people to our website, sferachicago.com, SFERA Chicago.com. Catch us on the Instagram, but mostly sferachicago.com.
Yeah, that's the best place to find us. It'll tell you where we're still doing farmers markets. We, so you can pick up our arancini, our cocktail bases, our cannoli around the city, from South Loop up to Andersonville and out west. So we're still there. Obviously, come and visit us in Avondale. We will come and deliver the food if we can, and say hello to you. And otherwise, one of our, one of the fantastic team members there will get it for you, or have it delivered via our website or via your favorite app.
So, in short, you're always working
nonstop.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm going to make risotto right after this call.
Okay, well, go to it. Thank you so much for doing this tonight.
Thank
you, James.
Thank you.